I know a lot about the history of this country, the history of indigenous people and people of color in regard to vaccines.
When COVID arrived, like everybody else, we had to shut down. That meant we could not gather for our sacred sweat lodge ceremonies. But when the vaccine became available to us, we were able to receive the vaccination and start to gather again.
We have all sheltered as indigenous people, urban Indians, coming to ceremony during this pandemic, and we've all been cautious and leery of keeping each other safe.
We started out 3 years ago asking everybody to show us their vaccination card, which was kind of hard, like people didn't like that too much, but we went forward with anyway. And I really felt like never did we have a problem out of any of our lodges that we poured where we had a COVID cluster, where people came in afterwards sick, saying that everybody in lodge got sick. So that was a really a poignant thing to putting those protocols down.
And we have been vigilant in receiving the boosters as they become available. And we do this because we believe this is the way that we are slowly going to be able to start gathering again as a society and be safe.
So tell us, why is it important to get vaccinated?
Well, for one thing, I do really believe that this is the safest thing we can do. If we ever hope to put COVID behind us, getting vaccinated is our best bet. I know there's a lot of people who aren't there yet. I call them, I say they're still researching, but I'm hoping that they'll come around and do the right thing, do the safe thing, and get vaccinated, and let's all of us as a society put COVID behind us.
My name is Angelina Llanos. I am the 2021-2022 Ventura County Youth Poet Laureate, and this is my poem, Coming Out of COVID, about how we adjust ourselves after COVID has impacted our lives for so long. Coming out of COVID is easier said than done, because the truth is that the virus will never really leave us. It's more of a restless guest that's grown too comfortable with invading people's space, made us wary of each other's company because intimacy became its favorite way to weaken us. We've had to distance ourselves to protect the vulnerable and hide our smiles behind face masks as we mourn the world we used to know. These past few years haven't been easy, but over time we've also learned new ways to connect. From virtual hangouts to outside dining, we place precautions to protect the ones at highest risk. And in the process, we've practiced more compassion for our frontline workers like educators and nurses. We've learned to be more grateful for the liberties we used to take in a COVID-free world. So even though COVID impacted our lives on a scale we're still trying to recover from, let's continue to look out for each other by being aware of our symptoms and doing our part to keep our community safe. After all, it takes each of us to build a village. As long as we take the lessons we learned into the future, we can make it a brighter one for all.
Isolation, scarcity, and fear, for many, became close companions. Stay home if you can. Many of us did. And as we did so, the animals came out, the skies cleared, and as the freeways emptied, all of the earth's beings made a collective sigh, and it became quiet. If you listened carefully, you could hear the voice of the soul speak. History awakens, opening its sleepy eyes, ancestral memories inside the hearts of many. It's 1760, then it's 1837, reflections of mass genocide, medical experimentation, dirty smallpox blankets covering the foundation upon which this nation and all its lies were built. Then it happens. A vaccination is here. Anticipation among some, trepidation among others. Together, let us continue to do the work of healing from these not so distant memories. May we all do our best to gain an understanding about the present times we are in, about the here and the now, all the while never forgetting about the history of then, and how in this very moment we can best care for our culture bearers, wisdom carriers, families, and each other, and how we can drum, dance, sing, and pray the way forward for the next 7 generations and beyond. Aho, Ometeot. Thank you, Tlasukamati, Impanamawani.
Hello there, my name is Luz Maria Espinosa. I'm currently Ventura County's Poet Laureate. As Poet Laureate, it has been difficult at times, and especially in the first year, because got closed down. And what I was asked to do today was write about my experience as in the COVID, but also our communities. So this poem that I'm going to read is called What We Became in the Time of COVID. Turtles, retreating into our shells, like witches' spells, its giant claws, COVID unfurled, poisonous virus upon the world. A scene from a sci-fi movie, not only for a day, but what seems like an eternity. Cries of loved ones broke the silence of the night, suspending time in warm sunlight. Fragile harmony and peace conquered lives for weeks and months, waiting their turn in mortuaries. Yet, COVID's war on unsuspecting gente was no match for an army of love which was presente throughout the entire globe, especially in Ventura County. Young and old delivered groceries to homes, providing food like it was gold, boxes of nourishment, a sight to behold. In schools, neighborhoods, and stores, brave soldiers weathered the storms like a breath of fresh air in the snow. Like a fast-running river's current, our future, present, and past, in the form of our youth, adults, and elders, arrived by the thousands, vaccinating, testing, isolating, protecting others from COVID's clutches. As the world gets smaller and smaller, the air we breathe is mixed with toxins. Environmental justice is imbalanced, but confident and proud, the community heeds healthcare workers. By donning masks, socially distancing, and vaccinating, safeguarding el pueblo, investing in our future, protecting those who continue the cycle of the living, manifesting gratitude. This is what we became in the time of the COVID.
Attention Ventura County students between kindergarten and 5th grade. You can win up to $500 cash prize by submitting a poster with your own unique message about COVID-19. This could be mask wearing, washing hands, or vaccines and boosters and what the pandemic means to you. The winner poster will be displayed on websites, social media, and future digital and print marketing. Please submit before March 3rd. Visit oxnardperformingarts.com or elconciliofs.org. Be creative.
Hello, my name is Martina Robles Gallegos. I'm a stroke brain injury survivor. I'm going to read a poem called Resilience, and it's about what we have learned about coming out of the pandemic and my feelings about it. Okay, resilience. Resilience. The last few years, our world faced some of the worst human losses imaginable, but it is now looking forward to a new and renewed spring and spirit. People suffered in isolation and couldn't even visit their loved ones, and perhaps also lacked in basic necessities for fear of leaving the safety of their own homes. But neighbors didn't forget neighbors and volunteered a helping hand during those dark years. But out of darkness and despair emerged faith and resilience to forge forward stronger than before, to face a healing world once again. The human spirit learned to weather the toughest oceans and swim across with courage and determination. Continue protecting each other and loved ones, because even though the pandemic is now an endemic, it's best to keep practicing healthy protocols to safeguard our loved ones, our communities, and our world. Protocols are meant to protect, not to take away. Keeping healthier helps keep our communities healthier. Practice healthy and clean habits daily.